All right, so let's create a situation where we are passing an array into a method and then having our method return an array. All right, so here I simply have a class that I've set up that I'm creating a string array, an array of strings. I'm calling that array alpha, and I've just put in literals A, B, and C. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is create another method, public static. I'm going to return a string. So this is going to return an array of strings. And we're going to call this reverse array. And in this array, in this method, I'm going to receive an array of strings, and I will call it list or whatever. There we go. Okay. So the idea behind this method that I'm creating is I would like to receive this array, which is ABC. I'm going to create a new array. In my new array, I'm going to reverse this to CBA, and I'm going to send that new array back to the main method. So let's see, where should we start? We'll start here. Okay, so this array is receiving ABC in an array. We're calling it list. So in this particular method, we're going to create a new, just kind of an FYI here. Notice that I still have this squiggly line, and just a debugging thing. Notice that I'm missing my return statement, and that's simply because the debugger here is saying, hey, you want to return a string, but you don't have a return line set up yet. So let's set that up so I can get rid of, I hate red squiggly lines. I like to get rid of them as soon as possible. So I'm going to create a string array. We'll call it temp equal to, and I'm going to set up the length of this array to be the length of the received array. So I can do new, we'll call it new string, and the length of it is going to be list.length. So TGTH, that'll keep my code flexible, and I don't have to worry about hard coding in a value. And so I still need to do a return, so I'm going to get that return taken care of. I'm going to return temp. Okay, that should now get rid of my squiggly lines. All right, so the idea here is I'm receiving an array. I'm going to create a temporary array that's going to hold my reversed letters, and then we're going to send that array back. So I better set up a, let's set up a new string. We'll call it alpha 2, and it's going to receive reverse array of alpha. Okay, so syntactically we're correct. We're not really doing anything yet, but we're building on it. So we've created an array. We're sending that array to this method. This method is receiving that array. We're going to put in the logic to reverse these letters, put that into a new array, and send that back to alpha 2. All right, so let's put in the logic. And let's see, we're going to do for, let's see, we need to put in an int. Let's put in an int j. And we'll use int j to keep track of the last element, and then we'll have it count down backwards. So it'll first be aware of C, and we'll count it down backwards. So that's what int j will do. For int I equals 0, I less than the length of our arrays, which are temp.length or list.length, whichever one you want to use, GTH, and then I plus plus. And then I need to make sure I decrement j because I said it was going to work backwards. So int I is working, the I is working on A, B, C, and then the j is working backwards, C, B, A. So actually, I'm going to have to give it a value. Int j is equal to the length of the array, which is temp.length. So in our case, it's equal to 3. So we need j to point to C, which is not element 3, it's element 2, 0, 1, 2. So length, which is 3, minus 1. So now j will equal to 2, because length is 3 but we need J to point to C, and C is 0, 1, 2, so that's why we have to subtract 1. Okay, so now we should be set up. We can simply say, let's see, temp. We're going to just reverse the 2. Temp of I is equal to let's see, list of J. So we're just reversing the 2. So we're taking whatever's in the end of our array and putting it into the beginning of our temporary array. Okay, and then we should probably print those to make sure it works. I'm going to use that shortcut method for letters in alpha 2 system.out.println letters. All right, so it needs to know that this is a string. There we go. Now we've gotten rid of all of our squiggly lines, and let's run it and see if this works. Run the file, and in fact it reversed it. So this is an example of us creating an array. We sent our array to a method, so this method received an array. Our method created a new array, did some logic to reverse the letters of the array it received, and sent back that array that I could then do something with.